dubbing, lock it off a couple of turns. Don't worry about the fuzziness. If you find that you didn't have quite enough dubbing for the length, you just take a dab of dubbing, apply it in the normal manner, like roll it on, and just apply it right in front of like so. Then you can apply the rip. Not particular on the number of turns. If you want to be realistic, I don't know, 7 to 9 possibly. But, kind of obscured anyways. It doesn't really matter. There's the web flag. The legs are taken also from the same goose feather we had, only now we take it from the wide section here. And we're going to have 3 sets of legs. So individual quills taken from the feather, and the first one extends back to the bend of the hook, the first set. So you tie those in front of body, far side, near side, wind in front, clip off the bits. Now you apply some dubbing in front of that. This is really the start of the thorax, and we use the twisting method of dubbing, or loop method. And the way I do it is I place bodkin in here. Apply the dubbing, bring the thread up over, and twist your dubbing. This is spinning method. And apply that right in front of the body, or the legs that you just put on. Another set of legs, and this goes to the, extends to the end of the body, slightly shorter than the previous one. Far side. And the near side. Another amount of dubbing in front of that. Same method, twisting method. Spinning method or whatever. the last set of legs. And slightly shorter than the last ones. Other side. And you can put some directly in front of that, and you can just use the ordinary method of applying that. Just roll it on. And next comes the wing case, and the wing case is formed from a grey goose, what we call a covered feather. This is the cover feather on the wings. And you're prepared like so. And then you take the scissors and you cut it like so. Then take your thumb and forefinger and just pull it off. There you have a set of wings. Now you coat those both sides with cement and you stroke them gently until they start to dry. And then after they're dry, you can apply them to the line and have a look. This. And you lay that on the top. Two loose turns of thread, and you can position it and really bind it down. Lift up the stem, lock in front. Then you take a small amount of dubbing, roll it on the thread, and starting at the eye you wind back towards the wing case, and really you're forming the head. And at that point, between the head and the wing case, you apply a whip finish. About 5 turns. And really with the dubbed head you apply cement, saturated cement. And that's the Narcy californica, or princess. Very effective. narcissus, or the salmon fly as we commonly call it, is hatching, or shall we say active. The alba stone, representing the light coloured instar molt of some of the stoneflies. And we start with an English bait hook, size 6. And a base thread is already down. Note that I'm using a cream colored thread. You could use white, black, or whatever. And we start by applying a little butt here of rabbit dubbing, and this is cream rabbit dubbing, which is used throughout the construction of the fly. So we just take a small amount, we just roll it on the thread, you kind of wind it in place there so you end up with a little knob of dubbing. By a half inch, and you may find you have to position the hook various times throughout this construction. We have a white goose biot for the tail, so we apply the far side first. And down the near side. And we apply half inch at that point. And the body is constructed of cream rabbit dubbing, and it's applied in the noodle fashion, or known as the twisting method. You apply a noodle and create a tag. And using your hackle pliers, you grasp the noodle and the tag thread. And make sure the noodle is loose, not tight, otherwise it'll separate when you go to wind it. And you put this in the end of your hackle pliers and you twist the tube. Until you get a fairly tight noodle. proceed to wind those on and keep the noodle fairly tight. This will give you a sort of a segmentation or subdued rib effect if you want. Now you may want to position the hook at this time so that you're a little more upright. And tie off the dubbing. And position the hook again so that the top part of the shank is kind of level. If you find you haven't got enough dubbing under, you can just apply a little bit in the normal fashion right there. You'd have to tie several to find out exactly where you want it. And about there. And the thorax is the same dubbing, except there's a little bit of seal added to it to give you a very small sparkle effect. So you just get a bit of dubbing like that, and this is applied in the what we call a spinning method. You put your shepherd's hook there, bring the thread up over and twist it. And you pick off all the excess. And put on the thorax, so to speak. The thorax is in two parts. And we tie in a set of legs at this point. And it's taken from a barred mallet feather. Just a few fibers if you want to be picky. 3 each side. Far side. And those are roughly the length of the body. Near side. And you take some more of the sparkle dubbing, so to speak. Rabbit and seal next. And again you apply it in the same fashion. And this completes the front half of the thorax. Or to start off, should I say. Same applies, pick out the excess. And wind it on in front of his legs. And take your scissors and kind of clip the top of the thorax so it won't interfere with the wing case, which is coming up. And the wing case is constructed from a mallard breast feather, like so. Remove the fluff, like so. And then you cut it, like so. I don't know if you can see the cuts there, but there's actually 3 cuts. 1, 2, and the last one here. Looks like that, then you just take your thumb and forefinger and you go like that, and you have a set of wings. And those are coated with cement, and then kind of lightly stroked as they dry, just slightly, and they look like that when you're finished. And you attach that. And position it. And you kind of bind it down. And you have a complete wing case, really, in one operation. Lift up stem, tie it off. And just a little bit of ordinary dubbing. Just using a dubbed head, so just slight amount. And you just put on it normal manner, just roll it on. And you would finish at that point, rather than at the eye. About 5 turns. And stroke the head back if there's any stragglers there, you can clip them off. And the head is then saturated with cement. And make sure you saturate the turns of thread that you had applied there. When that's dry, you have a substantial head. And you also have a protection against where the eye bends around, butts against the shank, which is known as the leader cutter point. And there you have the Alba stone, representing the lighter genera of the stoneflies, like the golden stone, the yellow stone, green stone, and during their instar molt they're in the white to cream phase.